Hello, dear friends. I'm here in Italy. I'm at Borgo la Pietraia, which is the property that is owned and operated by my family here in Italy. It's in the Cilento, and I'm standing next to an olive tree. I'm not using the studio sound feature that I use in the editing software for my podcast normally. I'm just talking into my phone, and so maybe you can hear the cicadas. You might hear kids running by. It's a beautiful summer day, and this is just not an official podcast episode, but a quick voice note to share an update. I got here a few days ago. I actually had to delay my flight by a day because I got an attack of, I don't know what, food poisoning. I thought it was that horrible parasite that was running around. I'll let you do the Googling on that. I don't think it was that because it went away fairly quickly, but I was down for the count, and I've never been that sick right before a trip, and I don't think I've ever had to delay a flight before. So that was a first, but I made it here, barely. Landed in Naples, got a rental car, and as soon as I got here, I could just feel my entire nervous system relax. I'm still been eating very lightly, and actually tonight I'm looking forward to returning to my full clean plate self. And there's no better place because the food is so different here. It's so simple, it's so clean, and of course food in Italy is spectacular, but not in every place will you find food that is actually so local. Because right now, the update from Italy, because we have many clients traveling throughout Italy, is that yes, it is hot, especially in the cities. It's not so bad if you're near the sea. It's actually easier to tolerate in the south because most locations in the south tend to be more rural. Of course, if you're in the middle of Naples, it will be hot, but really it's the most hot in the middle of Florence and in Rome. Those places are busy, and having reservations in the most popular places, you've heard me say this a million times, are of course critical, but there's no summer like an Italian summer. And so if you're thinking about traveling or you've got upcoming travels, life during high season in the south is pretty spectacular. This fall, we have decided to put together an experience here in Cilento. The late fall is very quiet, very inexpensive, but everything's still open. Everything closes down really November 1st, right after Ogni Santi, or on the day of Ogni Santi, All Saints, and everything is then closed really until Easter. But the very end of the season is a beautiful time to experience this landscape, and often it's still warm enough to swim. But it's the harvest, and the olives here on the property at the Borgo only come in every other year. And I wasn't sure if we were going to do this tour. I actually had the bones of it built on the website, but there were no prices. And just this morning, Ariana and I were talking, and we said, you know what? The olives are coming in this year. We have to harvest them, so let's do it. So thankfully, we used some AI tools to put together the pricing based on everything. And we're going to host this experience. I don't even want to call it a tour. I guess it's a tour, technically. But it's an experience that is based on the very, very popular episode 35 called The Mozzarella Highway. It starts with a pickup in Naples, so you can choose to fly into Naples, or you can fly into Rome and then take the train to Naples, which is just an hour and 10 minutes away. We'll meet at 2 o'clock, so right after lunch, and we'll come here to the Borgo, and this is where the story begins. I have included the text from that episode in the email that you are receiving this news in, if you are in fact looking at it on danielleoteri.com. And if you're listening to this elsewhere, please go to danielleoteri.com for the link to the full itinerary. But it's really a story that I'm going to unravel as your live host. Think of it as a podcast that you get to live during the week. So it's going to include the magnificent Greek temples at Paestum. Of course, we're going to taste buffalo mozzarella. We're going to go inside the largest blue grotto in Europe at Palinuro. We're going to harvest olives. We're going to make bread with Chef Mario's grandmother, Nonna Angela. It's going to include all of the things that you want in an Italian vacation, but it's really going to be steeped in storytelling, in ancient history. The Odyssey is coming out next week. Everybody's thinking about ancient history. This is the Magna Grecia, the Greater Greece. We'll visit the Cove of the Sirens, hopefully, during this trip, especially when we go to Castellabate and we look out at that beautiful mythical coast. And, what can I say? I just want this to be, it will be an immersive experience, and it's certainly not for someone who's just looking to kind of, tick off boxes, but you are not those people anyway. If you want to join us, we put together the best price possible, and the price, I should note, includes everything except for one lunch in Salerno. We'll go to Salerno for the afternoon. There will be a guided tour, but then also time to go shop, and on that day you can just have lunch on your own. But everything else is included, and all of the meals are prepared by Chef Mario Stellato, who is extraordinary. He has worked at 2 very significant Michelin star restaurants, but he learned to cook from his grandmother, and we'll have that experience of cooking with Mario and his grandmother. And the food will be fresh and healthy, and if you have any dietary restrictions at all, just let us know ahead of time. And, we put all of this stuff in an Excel document for Mario, and he executes it beautifully. So the price really includes almost everything except for your airfare and one lunch, and you'll be very, very well taken care of. So I hope you'll join me. We have room for 10 people. I do need a minimum of 6 in order to make this work, in order to cover the cost of the driver and the van. All your transportation is included as well. We pick up in Naples and then drop off in Naples on the last day, so that you can continue your trip if you want to, or board a flight. But the pickup is, we just leave on the last day after breakfast, and then drop off in Naples is at about noon. You can email me with any questions. Please do let me know as soon as possible, because of course this is sort of a last minute offering, and I hope we can make it work. And the next step of my journey is a busy one. I've been recuperating. I've really done very little. I've just been hanging out with Ariana. Definitely doing some work and catching up on that. I went to the pool this afternoon. I'm going to go to the beach at Pestum. I'm looking at Capri. I'm looking at the Amalfi Coast, but we are just a little bit removed from all of that. And from everything I hear, it's complete madness over there. Beautiful, but crazy. I'm about to jump into a very, very busy travel schedule. So if you are, I get a lot of messages on Instagram or Substack and then in email. Folks, don't take it personally. I can't keep track of all of these different email boxes always when I'm traveling. I can't even keep track of them when I'm at home. But I'm going to be moving a lot. So the next thing I do is head back to Naples to drop off my rental car. I'm going to try to see the Parthenope show at the Archaeological Museum. Then I'm heading to Le Marche. I'm going to Ascoli Piceno, where I'm going to see a joust. Then I'm going up to Bologna. I've got a really, really fascinating research assignment for myself that is tied to a book project that I've been speaking to a publisher about for a while. While I'm there, I'm also hoping to take the train to Ravenna one afternoon to see the mosaics. I'm going to Parma. I'm going to Modena, so you can see why I'm trying to recuperate my stomach now, because I'm about to eat some really fatty food. Then I have another secret mission, which I'll share with you in another episode and podcast, and then flying out of Milan. So after tomorrow, my days become very busy, but right now I am enjoying the proverbial dolce far niente. All right, I'm going to go back to my pasta, the first plate of pasta I'm going to have since getting taken down by this stomach thing. And I hope to see you in Cilento.